Hello, welcome back to the channel. We're doing more Vintage Cube, and what do we got? What do we got? We got some cool stuff. We got Yogg, Fable, Sacred Foundry, Polluted Delta. I like Fire Covenant a lot. Firebolt, Unearth. A lot of good stuff in this pack. I think Fable is probably just the most safe, strong first pick out of a pack. Just an absolutely incredible mid-range card. Gives you so much advantage, all for the low price of 2 in a red. It's like splashable. And again, I do like being red when it comes to just Magic in general, I guess. I kind of gravitate towards that color as I like both of the aggressive burn elements as well as the controlling removal aspects of the color. And also, I'm just an aggressive person. I'm actually really not. Anyway, Fable. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, look, it's Fury. Nice. So, ordinarily, I like taking something like a Bloodstained Mire to stay open, but, I mean, when life gives you a red card, you take more red card. And that is my theoretical analysis on what I'm going to be taking after this Fable. Other than that, there's a Mako which could wheel. Maybe we can get into the discard archetype. And I don't know, the rest of the pack kind of falls off. I guess Mana Tithe is really good. But yeah, definitely not taking that over Fury. All right, now what do we get? There's a Bazaar of Baghdad. So I could just go hard into the discard. I could also just take a Robber of the Rich and just try to cut red. I think I like that, because the 2 cards I took so far are pretty strong and I want to play them. Fury especially wants me to be more red focused so I can easily evoke this. So I like cutting red to better enable that. Now I just take Seasoned Pyromancer, I think. Again, same reason. I want to cut red as much as possible. But then also, this goes well with the discard archetype, which I can probably wheel a lot of those enablers. And maybe I can wheel the Bazaar of Baghdad. Anyway, let's go ahead and take Spyro here. And now what? There's Infernal Grasp if I want removal. Commercial District if I think I'm going to be Gruul. Gao, what does Gao do? So when it attacks, it gets bigger, and then at the beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. I could see that being fine. Maybe it wheels. Maybe I just take the Commercial District, see if Gruul is a possibility. Because 6 is pretty strong. Yeah, I'm not going to put too much weight on this pick. We'll just see what we get from here, but I'm liking the start. We got some nice aggressive elements. We also have we have the discard element to things. All right, now what do we get? Not seeing too much here. No red cards. Maybe I just take a Steam Vents to spec. Duress is probably the strongest card just because it's cheap and disruptive. But I don't know. If this was a black-red land, I'd be more interested in that. But I think I'm just going to keep myself open to splashing some other colors. So taking a Steam Vents. All right, we have Vibrance, Lily, Stock Up. I'm kind of feeling Stock Up. Feeling some Izzet. I guess Vibrance could be kind of cool as like a 2-mana burn spell. But then if I end up in Gruul, I can get any land. But I don't know. I think I'm feeling the Stock Up. Let's just see where that takes us. Burst Lightning. Seems pretty nice. Cheap burn spell. Let's go ahead and take that. There's also an Anger, which is pretty good with our discard elements, but taking a cheap burn spell is probably the way to go. I wield a Firebolt, which is nice. I will go ahead and snap that up. So right now, we're looking pretty mono red. Not sure about... Ooh, I wield a Mako. That's nice. We'll see if the stock up ends up being a thing. So I will the Mako. Can I get Bazaar of Baghdad? That is the goal. All right, I think it was in the next pack. Let's see if we get there. But even if we don't, with Mako we have Fable and Spyro. Plus there are so many other discard elements that we can get. Like I really want Mako to be a thing. All right, not much here. I guess if I am gonna be blue-red, I might want Otawara. Ouroboros is also pretty strong. I'll spec on an Ouroboros, and we'll just see what's open. Okay, we did not get Bazaar Baghdad, which is sad. I think I'll take maybe Tam as kind of a pseudo hex or pseudo Mother of Runes type deal. It's also blue and green technically. All right, I don't think we're getting much in these last couple of picks. Oh, last pick Vibrance. That's actually not bad. I'll just play that, I think. 2 mana deal 3 is fine to any target. And then, for 5 mana, you get like a 5 mana 4/4 that deals 3 damage to any target, basically. So, yeah, I'm actually happy with that. All right, pack 2, what do we get? A little bit disappointing, to be honest. The strongest card is like Flooded Strand. I guess I just take Magda, stick with red. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure I can just be mono red and have that consistency. I mean, I guess I could take Flooded Strand and then, we can fetch up Steam Vents, we can play stock up. But I think ideally, right, for the win rate, if I can stay as mono red as possible, that would be ideal. There's also Iron Shield Elf, which goes well with stuff like the Mako. But I think I'm going to take the Magda. Okay. So now we have Fire Blast, Chandra, Sunbaked Canyon. I'm going to take Fire Blast. I like having that reach in the late game. Just, you get them, you basically beat your opponent to within an inch of their life, and then they start to stabilize. And then you Fire Blast their face. It sounds like a good time. Also, I'm a little bit down on Chandra compared to like how she used to be. Because now, if you go 4 mana and then you just down tick and kill a thing, and then they kill Chandra, it's not that amazing, right? And for 4 mana, you really want your 4 mana plays to be super impactful. And this basically is like 4 mana, deal 2 damage to your opponent, and then they like deal with it. Or you can play a 2-drop. I don't know. The upside's certainly there, and we'll play it if we wheel it. But I'm going to take the Fire Blast. Okay. I mean, I guess I just take Quarry Steelcutter. Quarry Steelcutter goes really nicely with free spells like Fury or Fire Blast. And we also have a lot of cheap plays. So I think this can be a pretty good Quarry Steelcutter deck. Ooh, the monkey himself, Ragavan. I love Ragavan. Definitely the pickup here. And the rest of the pack is not great. I guess there's a Desecrex, which could be splashed, but that seems doubtful. Just going to take Ragavan. All right, I like taking Evora here out of this pack. It can get in for nice aggressive hits. It's also good with discard for the Mako. Carnage Interpreter could be a fine wheel, but I need to cheapen the curve. So I'm going to start with Evora, hopefully wheel the Carnage Interpreter. All right, there's an Unholy Heat, Hexing Squelcher, and I guess Expressive Iteration if I am going to be splashing blue, but that seems unlikely right now. Probably just take Hexing Squelcher. I definitely underestimated this card when it came to ECL spoiler season, but just it turns out having all of your creatures, making it so your opponent has to pay life to deal with any of your stuff, really adds up over time. So yeah, good in standard and pretty good in cube too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. All right, I'll just grab a Detective's Phoenix here out of this pack. Definitely looking like we're just gonna be mono red. Ooh, Grease Wrench Goblin versus Smuggler's Copter. Let's see where we're at right now as far as playables. I mean, Smuggler's Copter it's just the overall better card. And I was going to say Grease Wrench Goblin is probably better for discard, but I think Smuggler's Copter is just better at that too. It's also good with Magda. Yeah. This has a lot of upside. I'm just going to take the Copter. Okay, we wield the Figure of Destiny. Not amazing, but it's pretty much the only pick. All right, Chandra Wield. Sunbaked Canyon would be good too, but right now we don't have anything in the 4-drop slot, so I think Chandra's fine enough to take over a Sunbaked Canyon. Okay, nothing really in this pack. But overall, I'm liking where we're at. Lots of cheap spells, lots of burn. This is going to be a pretty good Corey Steelcutter deck, I think. Because, I mean, it looks like our curve is very high, but really, Fire Blast is free. Vibrance can be just a 2-mana burn spell, and then Fury's also free. So our curve really looks like this, which is not bad. I mean, you can still hardcast these cards, obviously, but that's not their intended purpose. All right. Ooh, Carnage Interpreter Wield. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take that. This is looking really nice. All right. Really just need that oomph. Really need a piece of power, or maybe even like Lightning Bolt I would be really happy with. Let's see what we get. All right. I see no power, but there's a Glorybringer, Discharge, Jite. Jite is, of course, just so strong. I love Jite. And we have a lot of cheap creatures to wear it. So I think it is the pick here. Discharge is fine. It doesn't go face. And we also don't have other energy cards. So the most this is going to be is like a lightning bolt for a creature, which is fine. Like, obviously that's good. But we already have a couple of cheap burn spells. I really like Glorybringer. This card's excellent, but I think Jite going to be a little bit better on average. Still hoping we'll get past some like mocks that someone didn't want, but that's kind of unlikely. All right, what do we got here? So, Legion Extruder, Elegant Parlor, Strip Mine, Walking Ballista. Urza's Saga doesn't grab anything. Definitely just a Strip Mine. Play it as like, you know, land 17, but it's kind of like half a land, half a spell. And such a low opportunity cost to put this in the deck because it's mono red. So, I mean, we're going to play like 15 mountains and be happy, right? And then the other 2 slots can just be utility lands, Strip Mine being one of them. So definitely a great addition to the deck. You can really mess people up with that. Like, you don't even need the combo. Like, we don't have combos with Strip Mine. But just playing it as one of your lands in your monocolored deck, totally solid. All right, now we have what? Skull Clamp, Murderous Redcap, Tursa. I like Tursa. Tursa goes well with the discard strategy, as well as just being a nice aggressive creature. Skull Clamp, we don't quite have the token generators to make this thing work. Murderous Redcap is like okay. 4 mana, 2/2, deal 2 to something. Dies, comes back, deals 1 to something. It's like a good, limited card. Doesn't quite make the cut in cube unless you really get the synergies for it. Like you get the persist combo pieces, or even just a way to sack so that way you can like more reliably get the both triggers. For us, I think the Tursa is going to be stronger on average. Okay. So there's Suplex to deal with artifacts. There's a Gitaxian Probe, which just basically lowers the deck size. Do I currently have any artifact hate? I think the answer is no. So I think it's important to get something like this for the sideboard. Okay. Not much here either, unfortunately. I guess I take a Mind Collapse. Actually, how good is City of Traders? City of Traders can cast my colorless cards early, can ramp out a Chandra or a Fury. This actually might be a City of Traders deck. Sure, let's go ahead and take that. Ooh, Deathgreater's Champion. I do like that. That is good. Squee could actually be a decent wheel. We have so many discard effects that this can be a way to maintain card parity so you don't actually go down on cards. But I'll take a Deathgreater's Champion. Okay, we've got Anji's Ravager, Seer, Abrade. What do I want more? Anji's Ravager can be quite strong. Do I want Seer more as like a pretty good removal spell? That is tough. Because really, the only discard payoff I have is a Mako. Everything else is kind of just discarding for the sake of discarding. Yeah, I guess this is sort of a payoff in itself. Sure. Let's get the Anji's Ravager in there. What am I hoping for in these last few picks? Maybe something like a Fear of Missing Out. I think Fear of Missing Out would be pretty good. What else? Greater Gargadon. I mean, it's like the only pick in this pack for us. I'm just not sure if it's going to be what we necessarily want. We can make a lot of spare rectangles to sacrifice with stuff like Carnage Interpreter, but we don't have the sacrifice payoffs like we did last time. I'm going to take it, but I don't think we're playing it. All right. Wheel Discharge. Sure. Get in the deck. That's fine. Walking Ballista could be a good sideboard card. Could even make the main deck. Okay. Chromatic Star. Nothing really here for us. All right. Unfortunately, this is probably just going to be it for the draft. I mean, this is fine. I think we have a pretty solid baseline. I'll cut the Figure of Destiny. Ooh, Mind Collapse. This one I think we can play in the main deck. I'll cut the Walking Ballista for now. We don't have a lot of ramp, so I think it's not going to be amazing. But it can definitely be good out of the sideboard for cheap, low toughness creatures that we see from our opponents. Something like if they go turn 1 Ocelot Pride, then we're like for sure going to bring in the Walking Ballista. So overall, this looks pretty good. I think I just run 14 mountains and then just run it, right? 16 lands. Do I want the 17th land? What would I cut it for? Could cut Discharge. Do I want all the 2-drops? Yes. I mean, the fact that we're monocolored too helps quite a lot. And again, the curve is not as high as it really looks because a lot of these cards are stuff that we can play for free or for very cheap. I think we just run it like this. I'm just going to add 14 mountains, call it a day, and overall I think the deck looks pretty sweet. I think the curve could be a little bit lighter. I don't like having all these 3-drop, like quite that many 3-drops, but overall I think it's not bad. We'll see you for the games. All right, we're playing against Dream Punked, and we're on the draw. This hand is actually not terrible. I guess I'll keep. It's a little land heavy, but we got the play pattern of Smuggler's Copter into Evoke a Vibrance, kill something, and then crew the Copter. However, opponent just went turn 1 Dark Ritual into Thoughtseize, which I don't love. I wonder what opponent takes. Probably depends what they have. Probably I was gonna say Copter, but sure, Chandra and Obsessive Pursuit. Okay. Wow, opponent's got quite a lot going on, and drawing another land is not great. At least the Obsessive Pursuit is doing a lot of damage to them. And then maybe they're not able to capitalize. Ooh, Corey Steelcutter. That's not bad. All right, let's go Smuggler's Copter. Ideally, I draw something that sticks on the table more. But worst case scenario, I can still do what I said and then, evoke Vibrance. All right, they're just going to crack a Clue and a Voldaren Epicure. All right, that's something I can kill with Vibrance. That's fine. Okay, so land. Pay for this with Evoke. All right, let's make sure to deal the 3. Now crew the Copter. And then attack. Trigger. There's a discharge. Not bad. Okay, opponent goes to 10. So this Obsessive Pursuit is doing a lot of the work for me, which I love. Ideally now my opponent actually plays something. Like I really want them to play something that this Galvanic Discharge will hit. Inquisition of Kozilek. Ugh. Okay. They take the Corey Steelcutter. They know I have 2 lands and a discharge. All right. Any creature would be a really good draw, to be honest. Just anything to keep the Smuggler's Copter going. Okay, big draw. Yikes. That is bad. But again, my opponent doesn't have anything going on. And discharge should hopefully be able to answer most things my opponent does. They're getting close to like Fire Blast range too. I've also drawn just quite a lot of lands. Okay, Mind Twist for 3. Well, there goes my discharge, as well as my other cards. Come on, any creature. Except for Fury. Fury in this particular moment because I only have 4 lands. I'll play that out because of the card Fury, but man, that is not good. That is quite some flood that I'm having. I'm still in a pretty good spot. I mean, the opponent's not doing anything. The problem is one creature just changes that dynamic because then they can just crack clues and then get in for a big lifelink hit. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant. That's not very good. Need something right now. Come on, Fury. City of Traders. Yet another land is not what I was looking for. Absolutely not. Fury would have been a hot draw there. Now they just crack 3 clues, get in for 7 lifelink. I think maybe they do that. Suplex the copter? Rude. Okay, they're going to crack a clue. So that's all well and good, but I feel like they should have just tried to go for the, whoa, Death Greeter's Champion. All right. This is going to force a block on the Magda. I was going to say, that left them dead to a Fire Blast. Yep, just block. All right, I'm down to do this every turn. So that's 6 points of burn I essentially have. So I think opponent just needs to crack 3 clues, get in for 8. They go up to 12. I go to 6. And then it's very, very hard for me to win. I can't really imagine a top deck that gets me out of it. Yep, I think opponent finally realizes what they need to do. Just crack 3 clues. All I have to do is crack 3 clues. Whoa, Greater Gargadon? Oh, never mind. I think I'm just dead. They certainly have enough to... Yep, I think they're just sacking everything. That is pretty cool. Oh, wait, if they sack all the lands, the Greater Gargadon comes in, right? That's pretty cool tech. All right, and that is lethal. Yikes. All right, all good. Moving on to game 2. We just drew an unbelievable amount of lands there, for sure. I know I kept the land-heavy hand, but that's okay. So, let's see. I think I just run it back. Suplex doesn't really answer anything super meaningful. Yeah, I'd rather just get it back in there. All right, let's see if I have a better hand this time. Yeah, this is better. We'll go ahead and keep this. I kind of want to go City of Traders Smuggler's Copter on turn 1. Because they have a lot of discard too. I'm actually okay with that. And then on the following turn, I can float the mana, go Evora. Okay, Carrion Feeder's not too big of a deal. All right, float mana, go land. It's going to get sacked. We're going to go Evora. We're going to crack the blood, discard a land. Crew the copter, get in for damage. I'll discard another land, I think. That also makes the Evora a lot bigger. So now next turn we get to go land Magda, and just such a good combination with the Smuggler's Copter. Then we also have Fire Blast. So we're dealing, what? How much damage? 7? 7 next turn, they go to 10. Opponent has assembled Carrion Feeder plus Jadar, which is a pretty nice combo. But I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest. All right. Go Magda. Crew with Magda, which triggers Magda to make a treasure. Right, pitch a land, trigger. All right, they go to 10. And then I make another blood. All right, this is looking good. I don't think I need... Yeah, I definitely don't need to worry about my opponent's engines quite yet. I highly doubt they can deal 19 to me in a single turn. Okay, definitely a pretty cool interaction with the Jadar and like a free sack outlet. And then you just constantly sacrifice that zombie, and then it keeps coming back. Soul Ring. Okay, that's good to know that my opponent has that. Unearth. Okay, just cycling to draw. All right. Ragavan. Ragavan's cool. So how much damage can I do? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. This is technically lethal. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's blood first. Discard this mountain. Draw a card. Okay, robber. Robber's cool. Okay, let's go robber of the rich. Like, I'm sure my opponent is very dead. I'm just trying to make sure we're okay. Okay. So, yeah, they're going to go ahead and concede to that. They also don't even know about the Fire Blast, which is nice. Okay. So, they definitely had a weaker draw there. I was able to just bolt on through. So, I have to make sure to keep a hand that can do that on average. All right, this hand is a little too land heavy to really get things going. I think I do better. This is certainly better. I'll keep this. I think I can put back a land. So I would like to start with a turn 2 Magda and then hopefully use the treasure to my advantage. Ideally, I draw Ragavan right now. I would also accept Burst Lightning, so maybe I can Burst Lightning their 2-drop. Okay, Evora's fine. I'm just going to go land go. Soul Ring. Man, I wish I had Soul Ring. Tursa? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, I do not have a good way to deal with this in the short term. All right. Okay, third land guaranteed is nice. I'm just gonna go for a Magda here. We'll see if it dies. I think it might. Okay, take 3. No play from the opponent. You love to see it. All right, I'm gonna go for Robber of the Rich. And then attack? Do you have anything? Oh, they have removal. Yep. Okay. Orcish Bowmasters? Oh, gross. Disgusting. Yeah, that was my source of ramp that I kind of desperately needed. Ugh. And in a braid? I just had everything. Okay. Well, next turn, Evora, Jite, Prophet. I'm taking 5. Then I take another 5. So the problem is I'm not blocking with Evora, or at least I'm trying not to. Oh, oh wow. Fury was insane. What an insane top deck. What an insane top deck. All right, let's go for it. I think I'm still interested in double spelling with Evora plus Jite. So am I interested in Furying, getting rid of which one? I could also just detect his Phoenix attack. Then the next turn Jite equip. But then I'm probably going to want that mana. All right. Yeah, let's get rid of the Phoenix. All right, we'll deal 3 here, 1 here. That was so huge. What a top deck. All right, let's get Jite down and Evora. Make a blood token. So really just hoping that they don't kill Evora. And they killed Evora. Okay, at least I have a blood token. And I have considerably more time. All right, pitch this. Burst Lightning is acceptable. I'm going to try to use it on something more impactful than an Orc army. But if I'm desperate, I'll just fire it off. Dark Ritual? What the heck is this? Oliphant. Okay, now I'm praying to hit a untapped land off the top, because then I can Burst Lightning it. Come on, untapped land. Anji's Ravager is fine, I guess. Sure. Anji's Ravager out there. I think I am forced to... Well, I could block the Oliphant. +2/+7 against trample. I guess the Jite always gives me 2, like 6 or 4. Oh, it gives me 4 life. Never mind. All right. Let's see. They're just gonna attack with both. They're gonna give that +2+. Is it +2/+0? Yeah. We're gonna do this. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take this. Go to 1. Do you have a burn spell? That's a burn spell. Yeah, definitely a burn spell. Greater Gargadon. Never mind. Okay. All right, I'm going to play this land. I'm going to equip Jite. I need to find an answer to this Oliphant. Okay, draw 3 cards. That's a Mind Collapse. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. Okay, get some counters. All right. So let's play Hexing Squelcher. And then we'll Mind Collapse the Oliphant by sacking a mountain. They're going to sack it to the Gargadon. Yep. All right. I'm feeling good. The problem is I'm at 1. But with the Jite out, I get to gain 4 life on a whim. So seems fairly unlikely they're going to be able to get me. All right. Go to our turn. You have something on upkeep here. What do you have? 1 card? I also need to be careful. This Gargadon can come down with haste. So I would ideally like to have something back on blocks if possible. Okay. So let's go land dash. Put this here. So right now, do I have lethal on my opponent, assuming they have nothing? I can pump this up to 6, 8. That's 16. Oh, that's very lethal, actually. Can I pump it up? Wait, this is 8 plus 4 is 12. 16? Oh, they can't crack the fetch? Yeah, so I actually don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to use the GT, because it's possible my opponent has, like, a lightning bolt or something that they just can't use. Oh, wait. Double strike. Oh, my God. So I can have first strike damage happen, then use GT, and by then it's going to have, like, 4 charge counters, so I'll be super safe. Okay, that seems good. All right, let's get in with everything in that case, because I think we're just winning the game right now. Yeah, draw these cards. I have a chump blocker just in case. So anyway, I can let this happen. Now, give this +2/+2. So this is 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I could do it again. All right, and that's the game. Nice. Wow. Dude, Jite and Fury came in super clutch there. All right, I did not think I was going to win that one. On to the next round. All right, we're playing against BDY and... All right, we're playing against BDY, and our hand, it's not the greatest. This Quarry Steel Cutter is not the most ideal 2-drop. Spyro and Fable are okay. I think I can do better, because Fire Blast is more of a late game card. I think I can do better. Yeah, I like this. This seems better. I can put back maybe just the City of Traders. It's probably a land. Do I trust that I'll find another land? Let's get rid of City of Traders. I think I want my mana sources permanent, especially because we're going to get rid of one with the strip mine, right? Okay, if they just pass a turn here, that'd be great. And then I'm just going to fire off a strip mine. Yep, still going to do that. Try to keep the game small for now. Is this Ancestral Recall? Or perhaps a Consider? Mystical Tutor. Okay, Mystical Tutor for Ancestral Recall. Yeah, that's good. Oh, did my opponent... Wait. Oh, did my opponent accidentally F6 through their turn? Oh, did they not have a land drop? Are they banking on finding a land? Oh, no. There's no way. Maybe opponent just accidentally F6 through the turn. It happens, you know. Sometimes the client do be like that. Ah, Chrome Mox. Okay. What are they going to pitch? Pitching Brain Freeze. At least I don't have to worry about Brain Freeze. Okay, wow. So that's why they were hesitant, right? To get the Ancestral. All right, they found a land. Okay. So I could burst their face. Nah, that doesn't seem necessary. Yeah, I'm just going to go land, robber, try to smack them down. Unfortunately, I don't get a trigger off of this. Okay, now unfortunately opponent's hand is probably really good. Oh, Lion's Eye Diamond? Okay, at least I don't have to worry about Brain Freeze. Tursa. Tursa's not bad. Right. Let's do that. It's a little bit more aggressive. Pitch, Detectives Phoenix land. Smack. Drew the Mako a little late. I would have wanted to combine that with Tursa, but I think we're still in an okay spot here. All right. Let's see. Kind of want to go Mako Spyro. I could also go like Mako Squelcher Burst Lightning. Couple, those are both like pretty solid options. Let's go for Mako Spyro here. And I'm gonna do it pre-combat. I could wait, but maybe we could hit like land one drop we might want to play. And plus, if they counter this, I'm actually not too upset about that. Okay, nice. So we'll pitch these. Hexing Sculpture could have been good, actually. Oh, that's true. Because this could have played around counter spells better. So maybe that was the play. Mako, Squelcher, and then hold up Burst Lightning. And then on the following turn, Spyro. Yeah, that probably would have been better, actually. That's okay. Whoa, opponent went for a giant Fire Covenant there. All right, well, pitch those. At least I make a couple of elementals. Plus, I have the Detective's Phoenix now. So next turn, I can go Fable plus Detective's Phoenix. Seems good. Not sure how my opponent gets there here. All right. Evora's cool. I'm just going to go Fable. Whoa, Mystic Confluence. Yikes. All right, that's all going to happen, unfortunately. I'll run an Evora out there. Okay, I mean, opponent only has 3 cards. Oh, Caracas? Shoot. Okay. So they're going to pitch the Evora. Oh, Magda. That's cool, too. So does Detective Phoenix give haste? It does. I like that. Okay, let's go Magda. And then Detective's Phoenix onto the Magda. We'll just exile some cards, Tursa and Fable. Okay, so now they're pretty much forced to use Caracas here. But then I still get the Detective's Phoenix. Actually, that's still lethal, right? Because then I use the blood token, discard. Yeah, they have to do this. Okay. So now we have the Detective's Phoenix. Get in there. And then before damage, we're going to use the blood, pitch the Magda, which will then grow the Evora, which they need a removal spell for this. Only 2 cards in hand. Nice. Okay. Pretty convincing win. Okay, opponent's in just some sort of like blue mid-range deck with Ancestral. And did I see much that the suplex would hit? Not particularly. There's Chromox, I suppose, but I don't think that alone is a reason to bring in the suplex. I think I'm just going to run it back. I think this is... It's okay. I wish I had a 2-drop. Because the fact that I can't get the Angie's Ravager down early is a problem. The Carnage and like Fable's really good, but I don't know how much Firebolt's really gonna do for me. I think I can bowl this. Okay, this seems better. Keep. I probably just put back Chandra and then hope that, Detectives Phoenix, Seasoned Pyromancer gets me there. Okay. Not bad. GTA will certainly come into effect later. Okay, Thundertrap Trainer's fine. What are they going to grab? Hopefully nothing. Mystical Tutor. So that can get the Ancestral. Okay, Mago is not bad for sure. Let's be mana efficient though. Go for the Robber of the Rich. And then I will get the trigger since my opponent has more cards in hand than I do. Oh, I exiled their Breach. That's so huge. Oh my god. So that's it. Like they just can't, they can't breach me anymore. Surely they have other ways to win the game, but that's, a lot of times these Storm decks, this card is the best card in the deck. So now that I've taken that away, I think we're in really good shape. Okay, I am going to, let's attack. My opponent has 7 cards in hand. Let's just see what we hit. Okay, they're going to kill it with a Bitter Triumph. Totally fine. Not a problem. Second main, we're just going to go Mako and Jite. So now, next turn, I can go Spyro, discard Phoenix, pump the Mako. Yeah, a lot of good stuff next turn. Right? Ooh, Firebolt. That's not bad either. Okay, so let's start with a Firebolt here. And then Spyro. Pitch the Phoenix, grow the Mako. This could, nope, I was going to say that could be a Fire Covenant. All right, trigger that. Now I have Fire Blast, which will eventually kill my opponent. Oh, they do have Fire Covenant. Weird that they waited to have this have a counter on it, but sure. They go to 10. Next turn, I can go Evora and Detectives Phoenix, which I think will be really strong. Unfortunately, I think in order to do that, I am going to have to exile the Spyro. Okay. Expressive Iteration from the opponent. That's fine. All right, looks like my opponent got a Caracas with the EI, which is not great. However, I can still use the trick I used last game, where even though they answer the legendary creature, I can still get my Detectives Phoenix on the field. However, now it looks like I may not have to worry about that at all. I think I'm going to go for Fable. Right, and now we're going to go Detectives Phoenix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still leaving the Firebolt in there just in case. All right, that worked. And it's not legendary. Smack for 4. 1 point short of lethal. Okay, they go to 5. So I have this Fire Blast in hand. If opponent does anything that pings themselves for 1, we're in great shape. All right, opponent's going to upkeep Mystical Tutor for something. Ancestral, okay. I mean, they're spending mana to do all this. And even if they deal with the Goblin Shaman, they still have to deal with the actual Detective's Phoenix. So they'd have to answer both. Opponent has 7 cards, though. I don't know if they have something that can actually deal with what I've got. Okay, Lion's Eye Diamond still doesn't do anything. I'm so glad I hit this Underworld Breach off of my Robber the Rich earlier. That's crazy. Time Twister. Okay, I think in response to this, I am gonna just Fire Blast them. Yeah, because then in that case, if I draw it again, I just have lethal. Okay, there we go. I do have lethal because I have a treasure token up now, plus a burst lightning. This hand's really bad, but I mean it doesn't matter. My opponent's at 1, and we got there. Wow. Okay, that was a pretty clean one, and we are made it to the finals. See you there. All right, we're here in the finals against Lord Beerus, and we won the die roll, which is good. And this hand is it's a little lacking, but I will keep it because we have the play pattern of Robber the Rich into Evora, discard one of these excess lands, then Chandra to hopefully start taking over. So not the worst. Also, this Robber the Rich is going to trigger. Okay, get in there. What do we hit? We get, oh my god, I get a Mox Emerald? Oh yeah, I will definitely be casting that. That is a sweet hit. Because now I can go land Chandra Evora too, which I might want to do. Might have counter spells. Yikes. All right, let's go for Chandra. See if this resolves. Probably counterspell, mana drain, mana leak. So many miscalculation. There are so many options. Which one will it be today? Remand? That's actually not that bad. Because I can always replay it next turn. What do we hit this time? Prismatic Ending. All right. That's fine. So this makes it so that you can spend mana as though it were mana of any color. So does that mean you can cast Prismatic Ending for like whatever you want? Could I just spend 5 mountains on the Prismatic Vista, but because of the way Robber the Rich is worded, I can exile a 5-drop? I don't know if that's how that works. Maybe we'll find out. We'll find out together. Okay. Ooh, Strip Mine. So, yeah, let's go Strip Mine on the Colonnade. Flash. What the heck? All right, let's see what you got. How bad is it? Is it Atraxa? Woodfall Primus. Oh boy. Yeah, that's really bad. So they're going to blow up what? Okay. So it comes back. They're going to blow up the other one. I'll just tap them both for mana. Okay, thankfully I'm still in my main phase. So I can just play Chandra. Oh, does opponent have Daze? Force of Negation. Man. Yeah, Flash is nuts. This is not good. Would they pitch counterspell to that? Sure. No attacks. I can see why you don't want to do that. All right. We have Vibrance, which we could, attack and then use Vibrance on Woodfall Primus, but I'd rather start with Inuvora and try to get... Wow, miscalc. All right. Okay, never mind. I just don't have attacks. But my opponent is running out of cards, so if I can deal with this Woodfall Primus, maybe we can start to get in. Ponder, though, not great. They did shuffle, so they did not like what they saw. Okay, big draw. Magda's not bad. So let's play Magda. I'll attack. I'm gonna block. Okay. Vibrance. See if this works. It worked. Goodbye, Woodfall Primus. Okay. Could have waited till next turn. Alright. Well, time to start smacking with Magda. Is this subtlety? Is it Wan Shi Tong? What's Wan Shi Tong? Yep. Okay, so Wan Shi Tong's a 4/4. Yikes. That's bad. Okay. Don't like that. So, notably, if I attack with a rogue, right, I can still use that prismatic ending. This is a monkey pirate, which is not exactly what we're looking for. I'm just going to pass. Wan Shi Tong is a little big. Ugh, dead in 4 turns. Come on, something good. Mountain is not something good. Hole Breacher. Oh boy. All right. Well, they have now increased the clock by 1. I am now dead next turn. Deathgrid's Champion? That's pretty good. Don't hate that. So, yeah, let's just start with that. We'll dash this in. See if they have a counterspell. Mana Drain is devastating. Okay. We'll just cast a monkey. They get to add a bunch of mana. I don't really have anything here. If they have like a Time Twister, then that'll do it. Is it? Yeah, Time Spiral. Yeah. So I draw no cards. They make a bunch of mana. They draw 7. Don't really see how I get out of this one. Yep, and then they Aang my Ragavan, and that'll be lethal. Okay, wow. I mean, Flash is strong. Flash Woodfall Primus. What can I do about this? I don't really have much. I just have to keep a very strong proactive hand, and then hopefully my creatures get there. All right, unfortunately, this only has 1 land. No reasonable way to get a second. Can mull this. This is better. It's better. But it's still very rough. Can I do better going to 5? Because right now the Mind Collapse doesn't really do anything. So that could be the card I put back. Discharge doesn't do much. Then I have to draw land. I think I can just do better than this. This is unkeepable. Okay, I'm forced to keep. So keep this. I guess we keep like Mako, land, Carnage Interpreter? That could be a thing. Because the Burst Lightning doesn't do anything. Strip Mining doesn't really do anything. Yeah, you know what? I think this is it. Okay, so we'll start with a Mako. I mean, look, we mulled a 4. It's not looking good for us no matter what, but there is a chance that, say, Carnage Interpreter just gets the job done. And I guess the problem is my opponent's just going to play Island Pass. Oh, they're tapping out for Thunder Trap Trainer. Ponder. All right, well, Daze or Force of Will really gets me, but if they don't have either of those, ooh, that worked. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I have a 5/5 with Menace. Hopefully my opponent does not have a way to deal with Carnage Interpreter. If that's the case, I mean, we have like a 3-turn clock. Ooh, Hexing Squelcher is pretty good. Yeah, let's attack with both. Okay, let's get the Hexing Squelcher down. Now it's a lot harder for them to target my stuff because now they have to pay life. And I still have these clue tokens, which can certainly help. I get a little bit wrecked by Flash. But I guess that's always going to wreck me. What do you have now? Okay, Prismatic Ending on the Carnage Interpreter, but they're going to have to take 2 damage to let this happen. Sure. This is fine. Okay, I'll draw a card. Discharge. You know what? I actually don't hate that. I'm going to discharge this. It just increases the clock. Okay, they go to 4. This is really close. Wasteland does pretty much nothing against me. Okay, they're passing. All right. Let's see what happens. Draw a card. Tashana's Tidebinder. That's okay. So you're going to counter that ability. Okay. Draw again. Angie's Ravager. All right. I don't hate that. I think I can still attack with both. They could have a Flash. Now what? I think I can actually hold back now. Just to play around a Flash. You have it? I think opponent has it. No, they don't. Because I don't want to lose my Hexing Squelcher because now all of my spells can't be countered. So this would make so many things off the top lethal. Whoa, Spyro. That's so good here. Oh my goodness. We get to go Spyro, can't be countered. We get to go into Angie's Ravager. With the Madness cost, we can now play it. Can't be countered. That's so good. Play this land. Go to combat. I'll just attack here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never mind. I should probably not do that. They can just activate the Celestial Colonnade. I think we'll wait one more turn. They need a board wipe right now in order to deal with all of this. If they have a board wipe, it gets pretty bad. What do you have? Wanchi Tong for 4 is fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. But can they deal with all of this? That's the question, right? Like, I just have so many things. Show and tell. Okay. You got it. Put the mountain into play. Voltborn Tyrant, that gains them a lot of life. Okay. Not bad. Man, what a game. Can't believe I got this far. On a mold of 4, too. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's a free attack. Okay. I will draw City of Traders. All right. Not great. Okay. Let's go to combat. This is always attacking. If I attack with everything, right? They eat Angie's Ravager, they eat Mako, and they eat one of the others. They take like 1. So then I guess I'm just supposed to not attack with everything else. I guess I can attack with Spyro. Because that's fine. Sure, we'll do that. Discard this, draw 3 cards. There's Fire Blast. So I just have lethal now, which is nice. Yep, they're going to eat those. Okay, so we'll cast Vibrance. 1, 2, 3, 4. So cast this. Can't be countered. Hexing Squelcher is doing so much work here. Deal 3 to them. And then we'll Fire Blast their face. Can't counter it. Wow. On the mold of 4. Dude, Hexing Squelcher. Absolutely incredible. Okay. This is huge. Let's see if we can get there. So opponents got some pretty cool stuff. They got Show and Tell. And so if they got Show and Tell, I could side in something like, I don't know, something dumb like an Alpha Deathclaw, which can just come in and destroy whatever. I don't know if that's worth it over something like I don't know. The whole rest of the deck is pretty consistent. I could take it over like one of the clunky 3-drops. Plus, that's so niche. It's 1 card in their deck. It's probably not worth it. I was just thinking out loud. Could bring in the Figure of Destiny as something else to do with my mana in the late game. What would I bring that in over? Maybe the Mind Collapse. Although the Mind Collapse can deal with some of their bigger stuff. Could be just one of the 3s. I do like these, though. These are pretty good. I think the deck is fine as is. I think I'm just going to send it back. Obviously, this deck is capable of pretty strong stuff. I have full faith and confidence. This hand looks great. It's a little land light, but we've got Fury to check early things. We've got Hexing Squelcher, Magda. It's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, turn 1, Ponder from opponent. I mean, I could easily just get wrecked by... Oh, geez. They did not. What's it called? This could just be Flash. That would be so bad. Angie's Ravager. All right. I know they have a ton of counter spells, so I am just going to throw out the Squelcher. Okay, they're just going to land cycle. That's fine. Unfortunately, I mean, Magda would have been the ideal play, but now I don't know. I just don't want to get got by a mana drain or something. Now I can basically resolve all my spells, which is nice. Okay, there's Smuggler's Copter, which is good. I will play that. The fact that none of my spells can be countered is insane. Like that's so strong. Attacking feels not great. They have ways to deal with my Squelcher. I kind of need this to survive. Yeah, I think we're just going to pass. And they're going to flash in Aang. Oh boy, don't like that. They're going to do it on the Squelcher. Sure, pay 2. Okay, so I guess next turn. Okay, that's Urza. Yikes. All right, how are we going to do this? Land would be really good draw. Okay, land was good. Land was good. So hopefully they don't have like a Force of Negation. So let's do this. Go for a Magda. No way. Stern Scolding. Oh no, I should have played around that. I could have mind collapsed the Urza immediately or gone for the Fury. Now I'm just like so incredibly far behind. Okay, let's not lose focus. I think I've got to kill this now. What do I do? Let's Fury pitch cast the Chandra, I guess. Do you have another counter spell? Oh no, if this is Force of Negation. Okay, good. So let's deal 3 and 1. Okay, let's make sure that happens. Okay, and then Smuggler's Copter. Okay, smack for 3. Yes. I think at this point I am just not going to be Corey Steel Cuttering. Probably can just discard that. And I don't actually need to Mind Collapse the Urza, so I'm just not going to do that. I don't think it's necessary. Next turn, we're going to Hexing Squelcher again, and it can't be countered. And if I draw land, then I can also play the Angie's Ravager, which is good. They're just going to spin the wheel on Urza. Okay, hopefully not. Okay, just the plains. Perfect. All right. Okay, so that means their hand sucks, which is good for me. All right. Come on. Big draw. Fable. Fable. Okay. Hexing Squelcher is pretty good. Because if that's all they're doing with the Urza. All right. I may want to kill it then, because they have some pretty hot draws in their deck with the Urza. Let's go Fable. Okay, that just snap resolved, which is good. So no Force of Negation. Okay. Let's crew this up. See if I can hit a land drop. Attack. Draw. Vibrance, I think, has got to go. I am going to sack the mountain to kill the Urza. I think I'm not going to get much that's better. And there's a real chance they can hit something really strong off the top. This could be Flash. Oh my god, that was a cycle of the miscalc. Okay. Okay, this is good. Alright. Alright, what are we going to do here? Am I going to just pitch cast a couple of cards? I think so. I could also pitch nothing. That is an option. I know my opponent has a ton of counter spells, so I'm inclined to just play the Squelcher. These are all pretty good. So what's my strat here? I think I can pitch the Tursa. Try to hit a land drop. Because if I can hit land drop, I can go Hexing Squelcher, Smuggler's Copter attack, pitch Angie's Ravager, and then play it. So in that case, I can get rid of the Death Greeter's Champion as well. But these are pretty good at producing a lot of damage. I think the upside is really high, though, for getting Angie's Ravager down. Yeah, okay. We'll just pitch these. Okay, not quite what we wanted. However, I can bestow this. Okay. Wait a second. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I think we're just going to be Hexing Squelchering. They can't counter this. Okay. Crew up with the Squelch. Go to combat. Attack with both. Make the treasure. And then say yes. Pitch Phoenix. They take 5 potentially here. Is this Wan Shi Tong? Okay, it's Wan Shi Tong, which is a little annoying, but I can kill it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we are gonna firebolt this. Ah, man, we are very land light right now, which I don't like. Okay. I mean, coast kind of seems clear. 2 cards. What could get me here? It could be a Tishana's Tidebinder. Like, the 2 flash creatures are Tishana's Tidebinder and the... What is it? The one that... Oh, Hull Breacher. I guess Hull Breacher would be pretty bad. I could also just make a copy of the Goblin Shaman. Man, this is tough. Oh, wait, that would require a Detective's Phoenix, right? Yeah. Huh. Get Detective's Phoenix onto the Reflection, attack for 8. Just not great. Let's go to combat. I think. Attack here. Only. Because again, I think the Hexing Squelcher is just the most important part here. Okay. Let's get down the Ravager. You can't counter this. Remand. Okay, you can remand it. Oh, wait, no, you can't. I think they drew a card, though. So they did that just to cantrip, which is totally fine. Oh my god, we actually got there. That is crazy. With the trophy? Wow. And the mold of 4 after a very decisive game 1 in the finals. But man, we got there. That is awesome. This deck was so sweet. I love me some mono red. I mean, we had cheap burn spells. We had some discard synergies with the Ravager and the Evora, Carnage, Interpreter, and our buddy, the Mako. And a lot of the free spells pulled their weight. Mind Collapse, Fury, Vibrance, and Fire Blast all got there. Jite is incredible. Deck was really, really sweet. I really liked this one. I mean, sometimes you play these like monocolored decks and you fear having like not having that versatility, but man, cards are so strong nowadays. You just have such a wide array of things you can do. But yeah, this was great. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, or just keep watching other videos. I don't know, do all the YouTube things, and see you next time. Bye.